that human beings are born innately with the idea or the belief that there is a creator.
Yeah, I guess.
Not that you guess, it's a fact that there are studies
Well,
showing that.
I don't think. Okay. So do you say that to believe in something you need to understand it fully?
ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا قال إنني من المسلمين.
Would you say that God is necessary in any way?
Okay, let me help you. Do you even understand what a necessary being is?
A necessary being, at least from my perception, is something that has to exist, and without it, whatever is attached to it wouldn't exist.
That's it?
Yes, in my opinion.
No, there is more to
from my perspective. Okay.
Yeah, there is more to the philosophical definition, but as I said, I'm not trying to get into that. It's something that cannot be in other ways, something that has to be eternal as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's many other things that you can give into the definition of a necessary existence. I think the existence of God is a much simpler issue. The existence of God is a reality that human beings are born with. I do not need to prove anything to anyone.
Okay.
Studies show, and I mentioned that multiple times. Studies show, and I mentioned that multiple times in my videos, that human beings are born innately with the idea or the belief that there is a creator.
Yeah, I guess.
Not that you guess, it's a fact that there are studies showing that.
I don't think. Okay.
Where do you guess there? It's a fact, you know.
Well, I don't see this as a like, from my own experience. I've never had that feeling. They had to explain to me what God was.
Because you've been socialized otherwise. That's the whole point of the study being on children. Because the study being in children is against the idea of socialization. Now you've been socialized otherwise. You've lived in a Western society. No one has been teaching you about God. They're teaching you about the opposite, about atheism, and about
they never really taught about me anything. Like, I never. Really,
but that's the whole point.
Yeah,
not teaching you anything is teaching you atheism, right? It's the whole thing, right? So they teach you about science and how, like, you have to be like, as science is the God, you know, everything is discovered through science and this and that. You wouldn't say these things directly, but this is the end all be all in what they would be teaching. There's a lot of professors and teachers, etc., that in schools would be explicitly mocking people who believe in God, mocking children from a young age to socialize them against the belief of a creator. That's a very common thing, and especially when you get into like university level and you have professors, if you have these classes to do with religion or philosophy, you'll always be mocking ideas of God, and they will not do it directly, they will do it indirectly, but trying to socialize those kids into being pushed away from the idea of religion, etc. So you saying you don't feel it right now is irrelevant, right? That's why these studies are on children, people who've not yet been socialized into a specific belief. So if we are born already with that belief, I do not need to kind of give reasons for anything. I would say that there is an innate thing that is intuitively we're born with as human beings. If someone does not believe it, then he has been socialized otherwise. He has been taken away from the innate state that human beings are born with. He's not purely natural. So we would like to welcome you into the natural state, you know? We say come back into being fully human, you know? Don't change it to other things, you know? Come back into humanity again.
I don't know if I still have time, but this is a little limited at the moment, because like everything that we do, and even God, in my opinion, even if we did have an innate concept of God, which I don't know if I agree with it, but okay, never mind. Let's say that we do.
It's not about agreeing or disagreeing.
Okay, sure. Let's say we do.
Okay. It's like you're not doing it for my sake. There are these studies that I've mentioned them multiple times. You know, given the sources, it's not, and they're done by atheists. So okay, but go ahead. Yes.
Let's say we do. Cannot this be explained by evolution? Just like, I don't think, even if we do have a feature, okay, let's say we do have, I don't know, we see colors, right? Do colors exist? I don't know, probably not.
Okay. You go ahead now, and tell me about evolution. What are the 4 assumptions of evolution?
Well, the assumption of evolution is essentially one main pillar of evolution.
The 4 main assumptions that evolutions are based upon.
Okay, I don't know if there are 4. I know that evolution can work with essentially the more fit individual to the environment will survive, and thus will have a higher chance of
natural selection is called natural selection, and that's one of them. So what are the other ones?
I don't know what the other ones are.
Have you read a book? Have you read Darwin's book?
No.
Do you know the name of the book?
The
First, the
The
basic.
Origin of Species.
Yes, have you read The Origin of Species?
No, I've never read it.
Okay, can you tell me about genetic drift?
Sorry.
Genetic drift.
Not really. I've heard.
Do you
of
know?
it, but
Do
I
you know
don't
what punctuated equilibrium means?
Nope.
So
I'm not
why-
claiming to be a.
No. I'm just showing you. Most of the people in the West are a mirror image of yourself. They believe in something have no clue about. They've not researched. They do not know the basics of. They've not read the basic book about its existence or knowledge, and then they believe it and they accept it to be a fact. And then you would like us to have a discussion on evolution being the reason why we believe in God when we still have not discussed whether evolution is real or not. You know what evidence?
Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on. Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, two things, man.
Uh-huh.
One, I never really claimed that God. I have no idea where the concept of God comes from. Okay, I'm not claiming.
No, we're talking about evolution.
Okay, yeah. So when I say that maybe the concept of God comes from evolution, I'm saying that it could be a possibility. I'm not saying that it is.
We don't look at possibilities unless there is evidence to look at them. Unless evolution is true, we do not then see whether the idea of the existence of God could be influenced by that thing which is already true or not. If there is no evidence it's true to begin with, then we do not include it as a possibility to begin with.
Okay.
Before we move into a completely different subject. So,
Sure.
but what atheists do, honestly, they do and you can try this. You can try this socialization and brainwashing. Go to your university. If you go to university, I don't know really what you do, but go to university or your basic friends, the people around you that are in their 20s, and just ask them, is evolution a fact? And all of them will say yes. And ask them the basic questions that I was asking you about evolution. And they will all probably give the same answers that you were given. They've been socialized into believing in something that they do not understand.
So do you say that to believe in something, you need to understand it fully?
I think to believe in something and to be convicted with it, you need to understand at least its basics and the reasoning why you believe. If you believe in something, if you're convicted with something, as people are in the West, convicted with evolution, and they don't know why they are, this is what brainwashing is. Because if I start asking someone for like the basics of that thing that they're convicted, so believing in so much, they don't know it. Like if you go to a Muslim who is like so convicted in Islam and says that it's the absolute truth, and then you ask him what are the 5 pillars of Islam, and he doesn't know, or these basic knowledge things I was asking you, what books do you guys read, and he doesn't know the Quran. Then that becomes ridiculous, because how are you convicted in that thing unless you're being brainwashed to believe in that thing? You literally do not know the basics, yeah? But anyways, look, we'll leave it here. I would like just to think about these things.